Today we are playing with the new Vieve Ninetease palette. I have been waiting and waiting for this to come in the mail. I picked it up literally as soon as it launched. I am so excited by this absolute cool tone palette of my dreams. We're going to put it to the test, see if it's worth our money and what we think of it. So if that sounds interesting to you, then let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. This is the beautiful new Vieve Ninetease palette from Jamie Genevieve's makeup brand. I, like so many of you, have been so excited to get this in my grubby little mitts because this is the cool tone palette of my dreams. It is truly beautiful looking and it is even more beautiful in person than it was online. You guys have to see this. Just one quick thing, please don't mind my nails. Normally I have them done, but I just needed to give them a break for a couple of weeks or a month. So I just got them taken off yesterday. They're a little bit grubby. Please don't mind that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hopefully we can still be friends. On Cult Beauty and Vieve, it's saying that this is 85 Australian dollars. I don't actually know how much this is in pound. I would say that's probably about £45 off the top of my head. But I picked this up, the exchange rate must have been a bit better when I picked this up because it was like 75 Australian dollars when I picked it up, and then I got 15% off that on Cult Beauty. So whatever 15% minus 75 is what I paid, but it is saying it's like 85 Australian now, so just keep that in mind. Also check out Space NK because I'm going to link all these in the description box for you guys as well, because Space NK has Vieve, which I didn't realize, and I believe they do quicker and better shipping than Cult Beauty, so check that out. And that is for like the worldwide included as well, because Vieve is only currently stocked at their website directly, Cult Beauty, Harrods, and Space NK from my knowledge. And I would actually order off Vieve directly, but their shipping is like 40 Australian dollars and I'm not here to pay that. So okay, now this is the beautiful packaging right here. I watched Jamie's video on this recently and she said she got this designed by her tattoo artist, I believe, the Jaguars, or yeah, these are Jaguars or leopards or something. So limited edition packaging comes in that gorgeous, actually I don't think this is limited edition packaging, sorry, I think it's the lipsticks that's limited edition packaging. I didn't buy the lipsticks because I already had the one shade that I would want, which we'll use today as well. But so this comes in a sleeve and then it has the exact same kind of print on it with the badge. On the back here it has a 12-month expiry. It was made in Italy, and then it feels very luxe, very heavy, very beautiful feeling, and you open it up to this gorgeous specimen. Seriously, look at this. Look at this. I have my lights turned down quite low so that you can see it's true to color, and the biggest thing that I notice getting this in person to seeing it online is this is so much darker in person than what it is in real, in the photos. In the photos, these look almost like chalky white. They are not. Like in person, this is a lot darker than what it appears to be online. Jamie said that this is the original formula that she has for her eyeshadow palette, so the same matte formula and the same metallic formula. I'll be honest, I'm gonna be interested to swatch these because I didn't super love her metallic formula. It's not that I didn't love her metallic formula, it's just that compared to other metallic formulas on the market, it doesn't seem to be, to me, as wowing as what a lot of other metallic formulas are. But also in saying that, the only other Vieve palette that I have is the Muse one, which is that rose one, and I don't actually like the tones of those metallic shades as well, so that could have something to do with it. So we'll play with this and we'll see how we go. The mattes out of the Muse palette are impeccable, like seriously, truly out of this world impeccable. So I'm hoping that these are going to be the same. And even though this palette only has 3 metallic shades, the one thing I love about the palettes that Jamie Genevieve creates is that each one of these matte shades are incredible one and done shadows. So for those of you that really like to create eye looks that are super easy and on the go, like this kind of a palette will have one and done shadows for pale to deep dark skin tones because it's got that spectrum in it and they will make lovely ones. But we will put this to the test and see how we go. So what we're gonna do now is arm swatches like we do, then we'll do the hand swatches, and then we'll create a look. So let's get straight stuck into it because I need to play with it already. So let's go ahead and do these individual ones. Let's start with Skimp, which is kind of a really, it's kind of like you know how they always put like really pale skin tone colors as like a lightning shade in a palette, like those matte ones, you know what I mean? Hopefully you do. That's what this is kind of like. Next up we have Acid Wash, which is the kind of in between this light silver right here and this gunmetal silver, so it's kind of like the middle tone. It feels exactly like her metallic formula from the other palette, and I don't super love it, I'm gonna be honest. It's not wet look. I mean, it might on the camera, but in real life it doesn't feel wet look. It feels a little bit dry and flaky. I definitely think out of all of her brand, the metallic formula is something that I would like to see her reformulate. That's just my personal opinion. Obviously, others may feel very differently. I just think that this could be a lot more wet look and creamy feeling and a bit more wowing and a bit more sparkly. It just doesn't get me going, you know? It's a beautiful shade, don't get me wrong. In terms of a metallic formula, it just doesn't get me going. Next up is Supermodel, which is, I guess, like a light gray, I would call it. I don't actually own a shade like this in my palette, in my collection. So I guess kind of like if you want that real cool tony gray look, then this would be like a good transition shade. Or if you don't want to use a metallic on the lid, you could pop that on as like instead of the metallic. Next up is VHS, which is a gorgeous, like really deep gunmetal, really pretty. I think this one's my favorite of the metallics just because it offers the most in terms of like sheen and dimension, and it kind of looks like a bit like an oil slick. Next up is Whatever, which this is a really pretty cool tone brown. I really like this. This is a smoky, matte smoky eye, would look so pretty beautiful. This one is Dial Up. Oh my gosh, I remember sitting there when I was like 7 with Dial Up internet. So this is the lightest silver shade. It's kind of the iciest, but again, it's not that it's bad. It's just that compared to what we have on offer now, I mean, that does look pretty on camera though, doesn't it? I'll have to give it a go. This one is actually, I take it back. I think it's just this one I don't super love because this one's quite smooth and shiny, and same with this one. But even still, like there just could be more to this. I don't know, maybe that's just me. This one is Phase. We all know that this is gonna be like my favorite transition color of all time. It kind of reminds me of the one in Subliminal. It's beautiful, it feels amazing, and I'm really into it. Then we have Low Rise, which is kind of a gorgeous, slightly deeper brown. Again, my kind of a tone, will look wonderful as a one and done. Then we have 93. I'm guessing this is potentially the year that Jamie Genevieve was born. Like, this is a very kind of chocolatey, deep, cool tone brown. This is quite pretty. I like this one. And then lastly, we have Soot, which is almost a black, but not quite. Nice. All right, that's all the swatches. Let's go ahead and create a look now. I am that excited. Let's do it, let's do it. Let's go ahead and dig into this palette. I'm gonna take a BKA 503, and I'm gonna start with Skimp, which is this one right here. And I have primed with my Rare Beauty eye primer already, by the way. This is late in the afternoon after work now, by the way, so I've already had makeup on, which is why I look a little bit rough. I've taken it off to like play with this after work because I just needed to straight away, which I never do this, so you know that this is how excited I was to play with this palette. Yeah, so this is just like one of those kind of bone colored shades. That's what I was trying to find the words for, where you just kind of use it to set through the crease, create a little bit of dimension, you know, that kind of a jazz. So it's not too bad there. Obviously I'm going in with Face, like we all saw that coming. I'm just using the same brush. I'm just gonna start by swirling this onto the outer corner. This is less pigmented on the lid than I was expecting, to be fair. I mean, I personally like it. I just don't know how much deeper skin tones would be able to get a lot of use out of this shade. I'm gonna go into Whatever right here. This is a BKA 502, and I'm just going to do the exact same steps and just use this to deepen up the crease. These shades are a lot less pigmented on the lids than you anticipate. In the pans they look quite dark, but on the lids they do look quite soft. Now I'm going to take a Rephr number 14 and I think I'll go into 93 here. So I'm just going to start by picking some of that. I'm going to start by packing this into the outer corner, spoiling. Yeah, it's so much less pigmented than I was anticipating. I really was anticipating this. Oh, well, it looks really bold on camera. Okay, so this looks super dark on camera, but in real life, this does not look that dark. Interesting. I'll be interested to see what this looks like editing it back. Don't worry about these outer corners. That's why I've done my always first. What's super interesting is, I mean, they look a bit darker now, but these seem to look a lot darker and crazier in the monitor than what they're looking in real life. These seem to be quite a soft pigmented matte, which is, it's good and bad. So, I mean, I guess it's not bad, but it's just dependent on your preference. If you're someone that like this palette kind of intimidates me, then this kind of soft buildable formula is actually going to really work in your favor because you're going to be able to just like slowly build and have like washes of color. But it does feel like if I was to build and build and build, it's gonna get really quite patchy and just kind of like blend away to nothing. So it's kind of like a fine line where I feel like you can almost overblend with these shadows. So, which I didn't feel like with her Muse palette. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't feel crazy easy to use at this point in time, but it does look nice. But at the same time, I don't know, I feel like if you guys were playing with this at home, I'm not sure if you would like it. It kind of almost even feels like it's just not blending well. It honestly could just be a me thing. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. I'm gonna take my Pat McGrath Labs Intensify stick and I'm just gonna pick up the product on a like flat shader brush and I'll just lay this down where I wanna lay the shadow. Let's dip into VHS first. I'm gonna take this on a Delium Tool 773. Let's tap it into the outer corner here first. That is applying really lovely. This actually looks really quite nice on the lid. That all over the lids will just kind of look like this gunmetal oil slick. It'll actually look pretty cool. Okay, I'm just flipping that brush over and I'm gonna dip into Dial Up, which is the really light silver, and I'm just gonna pop that on the rest. So I'm standing by it. The metallics just don't, they feel dry. The metallics feel dry. They don't look super metallic in my mind. I just think that the metallics can be done better. I really, really do. That's just a personal preference thing. Maybe people disagree, or maybe Jamie disagrees, in which case that's fine. It's her brand and she should do what she wishes. That's the most important thing. But for me, these metallics look beautiful, do not get me wrong. But if I was to think of going to use like gunmetal silver, sorry, or like a silver at all, I would go to Pat McGrath Labs or Natasha Denona straight away in my collection, or even there's a gunmetal color in that Oma Beauty palette that I love, and that's amazing. So yeah, they just bring some sparkle and dimension, and these do look great They just don't look exceptional, and I have exceptional in my collection. And to be fair, this palette is not cheap, so it kind of needs to be exceptional. So I'm just picking up a little bit of that 93 matte shade, and I'll just marry that into the outer corners here. I'm gonna leave this here. I mean, this is looking good. I probably look absolutely crazy to you guys, but this is looking pretty good. And I think once I've got my makeup on, it will really come together. But I do feel like I've had to concentrate to get here. It hasn't been like fun. Like, I don't know if you guys remember with like the Izumaya palette, or even with like the 3 looks with Celestial Nirvana. Like I said in those looks, I was like, it's just been really fun playing with these. I just feel like I've had to really concentrate. It doesn't feel like it's been a lot of fun, but I do like the end result. So far, it's just been like, I'm like, oh God, I feel a little bit stressed that this isn't gonna turn out well. So I don't know. Let's do the rest of my base makeup, and then we'll come back and do like lower lash line and stuff together. So 2 seconds. Base is on. I forgot that I owned that Vieve face palette for a second, so I didn't use the Vieve bronzer, but I did use the Vieve blush and Skin Dew. So I should have used the Vieve concealer and powder as well. What the hell was I thinking? She almost has a full face. The doy. Anyway, next time. All right, lower lash line, I'm gonna dip into this color right here, which is Phase, just with a little pencil brush. And then I'm just gonna use the same brush and dip into a little bit of that 93 color, which is that deep color that we used. I'm just gonna take a little bit of the silver shade for the inner corner. I've actually just put black eyeliner in my top and bottom waterlines, and I may live to regret that, but we'll see how we go. I'm gonna take my Lancome Lashy Doll mascara. I just quickly went and put my hair on as well. If you don't know, I suffer from hair loss and wear alternative hair, so this is a hair topper. Now we're going to use Vieve lip products because I remembered I had Vieve lip products. I cannot believe I did not use a full face of Vieve, pretty much. What was I thinking? Anyway, this is the Modern Lip Definer in the shade Bark, and it's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. And then this is the Ninetease lipstick, which she's released with this collection in like limited edition packaging, I think. So that is the lip, and I'm just gonna put a little touch of Luna Beauty Moon in the center. All right, let's zoom you guys back so you can see the finished look, and also so I can tell you my final thoughts. So let's do it. Finished look. I think this has come together pretty well. I mean, this lip combo as well is just absolute fire. All right, let's dig into this eyeshadow palette and what I think. I think the eye look has come out pretty well now that everything's kind of like done and dusted. It's definitely a glam look. I haven't been doing a lot of glam looks, so it's actually taken me a little bit aback, but it does actually look really quite pretty. At least I think it does. It's not like perfectly blended or anything. It probably looks a little bit mucky up here, which could be a me problem. Definitely could be a me problem. I don't know. But it does look pretty now that like everything is on together, I personally think. What do I think of this palette? The color story I adore through and through. The color story is truly amazing. It's impeccable. It's original for something we've seen lately. A lot of people seem to be releasing color stories that are quite similar to each other, and I feel like this is really quite unique. I love the whole idea about this palette. I don't really love the palette though. I really didn't have a lot of fun creating this look, and I don't know, the shadows look so much deeper and more pigmented in the pan than what they do on the eye. They almost feel like pressed pigments where like if you blend even slightly too much, you're just like screwed and everything's gonna like mesh together and look really mucky and dirty. So not dirty as in like dirty, but like I guess like smudgy, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. And the metallics, I was really hoping the metallics were going to be a lot more blinding. In saying that, these metallics look insanely beautiful right now on the eyes. They actually really, really do. I just think that like if you were to take the same shades, because these metallic shades are not unique, right? So if you were to pick them up from the Natasha Denona Glam palette, you would be like, oh wow, they're stunning, and they're like liquid molten, and they're wet look, and they're gorgeous. Whereas, and then you would see them next to this and you'd be like, yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. But you wouldn't be like, oh my God, that's insanely beautiful. Do you know what I mean? But this look does look really pretty. I don't want to just like rip the palette to shreds, because everyone has different opinions and everyone has different experiences. And my experience was just that I kind of, if I could return the palette right now, I would. I feel really mean saying that. I do. Because I actually love Vieve. Like, I think it's been nearly every video for like the last month I have gone off about how people don't shout Vieve from the rooftops. Like, I really have. You guys know that. If you go back and watch all my videos, I'm constantly like, why do people not talk about Vieve? Vieve is exceptional. I love Vieve. And this hasn't done it for me. I might give it a couple more goes playing with it and I'll give you an update. But as of right now, I personally would say save your money. But please remember, that is my own personal opinion. It has nothing to do with Jamie Genevieve or anything like that. I honestly adore her. Like, it kills me that I have to say this. I almost, like, I don't want to say it. I'm not gonna lie. Because I love her videos and I love her brand. I truly do. You can go through my videos and see that. And this is just my personal opinion. If I take her out of the equation and I just look at this as like a brandless palette, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I really wouldn't. And I don't know what others are saying about this. I haven't watched any other reviews. This could very much be a me thing. Take it with a grain of salt, but that's my opinion. So I promise I'd always be honest with you guys. So please don't leave me mean comments. Usually if I have a negative review, people leave me mean comments because apparently I'm supposed to love everything. But yeah, that's my opinion. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Did any of you pick it up and what do you think? And yeah, I'll keep you updated. But other than that, if you're watching till this point, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, pretty please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. It helps my channel out so, so much. And I hope that you have the most amazing day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next time. Bye.